Hello, welcome to day 6 of my trading journal to help me with my learning and understanding of ICT concepts in preparation for trading this in a live market. So this was the previous day for the 6th of November, and we're going to spend this session mostly looking at trying to understand daily bias, because we've been looking at daily bias just on a 3-minute using London and PM session high and lows, trying to find Judas swings above those levels, trying to see if relatively equal highs or lows have remained unbroken. So for example, when we were looking to get in this long position here, we might have said, well, we've got all these relatively equal highs that have been unbroken here, so to support price going higher. But I want to try and take this to more of a higher time frame analysis, and I've tried to avoid doing this in the past because the higher time frame always just tends to confuse me. It's just more difficult to looking at this to try and determine whether the next candle is going to be green or where price is going to go to. But I'm going to use the same concepts we've been using on a 3-minute time frame, on a daily time frame, and see if we can come up with a bias. So straight away I've got this swing high here, sort of makes these equal highs, so I'm looking at this as an area of potential liquidity as a sell side liquidity there. The fair value gap over here also stands out to me. It's quite easy to see, jumps off the chart. And we're doing this to try and build a narrative that supports price going higher or lower, because some people might look at this and draw a trend line and come up with an entirely different analysis that price is going to go down, and it's actually very, very difficult to try and predict where price is going to go because we're trying to predict the future, and it's actually, when you have to put money behind it, real risk, it's very difficult not to be uncertain. So we've got a fair value gap here. So I think we could argue that it looks like price is trying to reach for this level here, but I mean, we might get a retracement before price gets there. So I mean, we could see we've got fair value gaps here as well, although each of these have been left unfilled. So I think what we'll do is we'll look at this here. I think this is an order block, significant low broken, bearish candle prior to rally that creates fair value gap. The rally also goes above the high that led into the liquidity being taken here. So once price came above this level, that's a change in the state of delivery, which is actually a very important distinction for order blocks. And if that is our daily order block, we might want to potentially, out of interest, just to sort of go in on to a lower time frame. That's our daily order block, and the idea that price would use this as a level of support to go higher, which seems to be what has happened on the London session here. If we just create a little box on here, come into our 3-minute time frame, let's see how price reacted to that order block. So it went through it. That was the change in the state of delivery, and it came back into that order block a little bit. So it came into the order block because it was reaching into this fair value gap here, and from there used it as a place that price rallied from. So we can zoom in and just sort of observe price interacting with these different levels. Next, let's look at what we have here. We have a low, a high, a lower low, which looks like a bullish breaker, which signifies a reversal in a market. The last up leg in price that formed the high determines the breaker, which would be this leg in price action here. And so while we have sort of determined that we're expecting price to at least reach for this imbalance, this liquidity here, if price kind of comes above here now and then, you know, comes back in, we might actually sort of anticipate that this trend line is going to get broken and that, you know, price might actually go above here. And of course we have the mean threshold of this. So we would expect that this level here might act as support to send price even higher. If price was going to do that, is there anything to support price going even higher? And well, yeah, we've got more equal highs here as well, so that's even more liquidity. Then we've got a gap between the bodies of the candles, and this is actually called a volume imbalance. Kind of looks similar to a fair value gap, but with a fair value gap the wicks don't bridge the gap between the high and the low here. These wicks do, but the bodies never meet, which then creates a volume imbalance. And the reason it's called an imbalance is because we expect that this might act as a draw on liquidity, potentially an area of resistance, potentially price might even go through there. Now we don't need to predict what's going to happen for the entire week. We don't need to sort of predict the next, you know, the entire next several days of price action. It's just that now we've got some context. Each day we can look at this and see how price reacts to these levels, see if we can get some sort of, I mean, I'm seeing more kind of indicators that price is going to go up to these levels than I would be inclined to believe price is going to go down, because often when price looks like it's going down, it's more sort of to throw you off, so that, you know, it looks like price is going down, but actually with all these sort of hidden signals here actually shows that there's more signs that price is going to go higher. And okay, so now that we understand the concept of analyzing daily bias, I'm just going to put a line here so we don't accidentally skip ahead of where we are now. And I'm just going to roll back, say, to here before all of this, and I'm going to go through, use these concepts, you know, hopefully in real time, and see if we can see this kind of concept in action. It's a lot easier to do everything in hindsight, obviously, but if we can do it in hindsight, it will be easier to do this in a live environment. So okay, so let's say we didn't know what was going to happen here, and we're trying to figure out, should we be bullish, should we be bearish? So we might be saying, okay, well, we've got liquidity presumably here. Which area of liquidity is it more likely price is going to go to, though, because we've already had a fair value gap here that's been rebalanced by price. And if price was going to come down to get this liquidity here, it would be a shorter journey to get this liquidity first before going all the way down here to get this liquidity. This fair value gap has already been filled. Price has already used that. So yeah, I'm expecting the next candle to be green here. Okay, it's taken that liquidity. Now that it's taken that liquidity, do we really have anything to support it going higher? I mean, not really. I suppose we could be going all the way back here, looking at these candles. I suppose, you know, we'll make a note of these then. If we say this is the next draw on liquidity, would it be easier to take this liquidity first, or would it be easier to take the equal lows? I think we'll anticipate another bullish candle, I think. Okay. Now that we're so close to those equal highs, I'm going to anticipate a smaller candle that actually takes those levels there. Interesting. That is sort of adding credence to my theory that this is liquidity. And then now if we examine what's happened in this leg in price action, we've got fair value gap. We've also got a volume imbalance here. So now this liquidity has been taken, I'm expecting price, and you know, this is a long-term low, long-term high. The next area of liquidity is all the way up here. And in the interest of efficiency, would it be more efficient to try and deliver price to that level, or would it be more efficient to, before trying to reach a level like that, you instead come back down and try and create more of an efficient price structure by coming back down to this level here, this fair value gap? So I'm going to anticipate the next few candles are going to be bearish. Okay, so they're taking it back. They want it to close above the liquidity. I'm still looking for it to be bearish though. Okay, we get another green candle. So I guess the bias was wrong there. Still green. Which is fine. It's taking it into the liquidity. I'm still looking at this and thinking, okay, I'm seeing all of these fair value gaps here. I'm still anticipating that, you know, price is going to come back down here. Maybe I jumped the gun a bit on this run on liquidity. Perhaps this was actually the run on liquidity, and at this point will be the reversal. Okay, so we're a little bit too eager to see the reversal there. That's fine. So we've come into this fair value gap. What is price going to do next though? Is it going to reach down into here as well? I'm gonna go the theory that it has its liquidity and now it wants to rebalance. At least let's at least see if it wants to get to this volume imbalance here. So another red candle, please. Okay. Now we've created a fair value gap here, and I'm anticipating that price might want to come back into this fair value gap before going lower. I could be wrong though. If I was looking at this chart and I wanted to be a buyer or a seller, what would I anticipate? I think I would anticipate price making a retracement into this fair value gap here before reaching for this liquidity here. So let's go green. Okay, that's not really much movement, sort of indecisive. I still think it's going to at least come up to this level here before going lower. Okay, so it's gone into the fair value gap. It might want to go deeper into it. It might want to reach for the mean threshold here. But I'm still going with the working theory that liquidity has been taken and we're now bearish. So perhaps one more push up here into this fair value gap. I mean, it happens a bit, and then we get a red candle. So okay, so we're gonna wait to see what happens. I'm not sure where's it gonna go now. We've got that fair value gap. I don't know. It looks like it's engineering equal lows here in preparation to go lower. Look, prices filled this fair value gap here, so I think this is what we're looking at. Now I'm starting to look at this as engineered liquidity, which means I think prices probably want to kind of go back up here again. Let's see what it does. Okay, it does. Looks like it opens, it comes down, creates another equal low, setting up that liquidity. Then it makes a big run up into the fair value gap, which is sort of what we were anticipating. So now I'm going to say that that's been, you know, equalized or whatever. Price is closed here. Now I think it is going to go down. I mean, it looks like the next obvious level would be here. I think it's at least going to close below these equal lows. Okay, and I was completely wrong. It's come back up into that fair value gap again. I think I looked into this wick and I thought, oh yeah, that's filled the fair value gap, but I think we actually wanted to see it close into the fair value gap. I'm still feeling bearish though, so maybe we'll get another green candle in here, and then I think price is going to want to take out all of these equal lows here, because that's just too clean. Okay, we got a red candle. Let's see, is there anything we're missing? Is there anything else that would support price going lower? Do we have an order block or anything that we can lean on? Significant high broken. Bullish candle prior to price delivery. Price drop that creates a fair value gap. So we could be looking at this as an order block here. Price comes below here. That's a change in the state of delivery. Price has come back into this order block again. To be honest, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to anticipate a rundown now, a red candle. Okay, that took some while. I'm trying to do this on the fly. I think we'll be spending a little bit more time here. Right, so we've got a volume imbalance. Now we kind of know from looking at the chart earlier that price at some point comes back into this volume imbalance, so I've kind of ruined the surprise for myself there, but at least we've noted that, we understand it. That liquidity there has been taken. Okay, so price has come into this fair value gap, hasn't really closed into it yet, so I'm going to anticipate a bit more of a reasonable run into here. Okay, we got a bit of an indecisive candle here. This is where it gets difficult. Is price going to come back into this imbalance? Is it going to go reach for the volume imbalance? Is it going to finish filling this level? Looks like it's setting up equal highs again. I mean, that liquidity there has definitely been taken, hasn't it? So I think we might get possibly a candle that comes into this fair value gap a bit more, at least down to the mean threshold, before heading back up. Might happen on the same candle. Okay, we got our down close candle. It does wick up there. Looks like we're getting swing lows and a lower swing low here. A failure to break a swing high. So it kind of looks like, you know, price is starting to transition to more of a sort of trend now. So that might make it a little bit more easier for us to anticipate price going lower once it comes back up to this fair value gap. So let's go a green candle. Okay, I think another green candle. It fully came down into the fair value gap. closed down here. Okay, so that's red. I mean, there would have still been, let's see, opened here. No, price. Okay, price was here. Then it would have opened here. No, sorry, opened here at the high. Then price came all the way down here. We would have taken out some kind of low on a lower time frame before coming back up and closing here. So there would have been an opportunity to be a buyer if we were looking at this fair value gap. So okay, so let's go green candle, please. Okay, we get another red. Looks like we might be interpreting this wrong, perhaps. Okay, look, I think I got too hung up on this fair value gap here, and I completely missed these equal lows here. Looks like we've got a lot of liquidity over here. So yeah, I think we got this candle wrong, but I think price is going to make a run on this liquidity here. Wrong again. Sort of just wicked back up, closed at the same place it opened. I still think it's going to push lower. Okay, it does. Gets to that liquidity. And then we can close this stuff out here. Close that out. Okay, is price going to run all the way down here before making a reversal? I think I'm looking at all these red candles and I'm thinking we're going to get more of a significant move into this liquidity here. Well, it has been coming down a lot though, so to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I'm expecting more of a push below this liquidity here at the very least. Okay, so it looks like it does that in the morning, comes a little bit lower and then comes back up. Now that this liquidity has been taken, I'm looking at these equal highs and presuming that that's the next draw on liquidity. Okay. Okay, now I'm back. Now I'm not sure again. Now I'm not sure if what price is going to do here. I don't really know. Is it going to come down here again? Take this liquidity? I think maybe I need to just wait and see. Wait and see what price does. Okay, we waited. Price has taken that liquidity there. I mean, I think we're still bearish then. It looks like price is going to go for this liquidity. Let's see if it does that. Okay, it does. Now that it's taken that, I am pretty sure I don't see any reason for price to reach all the way down here in one big stretch like that. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking we're at least going to get a pullback into this fair value gap here. So at least a wick into there, possibly a close. Okay, it's sort of slowing down here. This is where I'm expecting to see a green body. Okay, yep. So as you can see, I'm not right all the time. I'm trying to predict. I'm trying to analyze. I only have a rudimentary grasp on all of this anyway, and I'm trying not to be so concerned about being wrong, because obviously I want to be right about everything, but that's not the point of this journal. The journal isn't to be right about everything and to prove how good I am. It's to help me actually understand this. So it's going into this fair value gap. I want to see it actually come into here. So possibly a small move down and then a move up into that fair value gap. Okay, that's nice to see. Opens, wicks down. That'd be a sort of a Judas move. Then it wicks up. into this fair value gap, then comes back down again. I would expect it to... I need to look at this now and sort of figure out where's the next swing high, swing low. I mean, we could be going in on an hourly chart as well. So we've got a swing high here. We've got a swing low that took out liquidity. I think we're going to get an actual body, green body close into this fair value gap here. Yeah, exceeds that expectation and goes right through it. And we've wicked above this swing high now. So now I'm actually starting to feel more bullish on this now. That's a swing high, swing low below liquidity. If we close above this candle here, then we'll be closing above an order block, and that'll be a shift in the state of delivery. So our bullish order block, significant low broken, bearish candle. Bearish candle prior to a rally. That's our shift in market structure. If price closes above here, this will validate our order block, because we've created some displacement here as well. So I want to see it close above that order block, please. And yes, price closed here, then it must have come down. Okay, it's kind of done both. I'm not sure what order it. Let's go into like an hourly chart and see what happened there, because it's a little bit confusing. So that's what we're looking at. That was our. That's our market structure shift here. So we see that happen. Price comes above this order block here. So that's our shift in the state of delivery. Then price makes a huge move back down into the daily fair value gap here. So now I'm expecting this to, price came back down here. Now I'm expecting this to be bullish. Even though we've seen this huge price drop, took out all this liquidity, went into the daily fair value gap, still had the market structure shift on a daily time frame. This is now being validated as an order block. So let's go back to the daily time frame. Now that this fair value gap has been filled, maybe we'll get one more candle that sort of forms with a smaller range. Happens there, it's green. And then I think we use that fair value gap to begin the next leg up in price. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be green. And then another green. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely validating. We could have seen this red candle and thought that was a drop in price after seeing price come down here. But by understanding this high time frame analysis, it's given us a better understanding. Seeing the matrix, basically. So price currently here looks like it's... If we don't get a candle that closes above here, then this looks like it could be liquidity. Equal lows. So I want to see another candle break through this level. Okay. How long do we have to do this for? This is actually really mentally exhausting. Yeah, it looks, if we're here, what's the next candle going to be? Should we be bullish? A bias would be bullish, expecting another up leg. I think price is going to make I think price is going to go to here, and then it looks like it's kind of losing momentum a bit. So maybe one more candle upwards. Yeah, we get the wick that goes up to here, and as you can see from the annotations, this created our sell side liquidity. So we know now from the annotation that price came back down after here. And then if we just skip forward, goes into the fair value gap here. So we expect price to kind of come down, fill this gap. Happens. Maybe we can anticipate another red candle. Oh no, it actually comes back up again. Possibly to this fair value gap here. Still expecting it to you know, balance out this price range here. And it just does something completely unexpected. So yeah, so that's why we have to spend some good amount of time actually analyzing this. I still think it's going to go into this fair value gap. Next draw on liquidity is down here. Still making these swing lows. I mean, oh, we did say we had like a market structure shift. So yeah, when we had this market structure shift, that's when we anticipated all of this going into this fair value gap, and now it doesn't really look like price is going into this volume imbalance yet. So then we're looking at the equal lows down here. Maybe another red candle. Okay, then it sweeps all of the. I think it's kind of going for this low here. So let's at least say we get another red candle. I mean, like a pullback before another red candle. Okay, wicks into there. I think it's going to break through. So it's had its pullback. Maybe on like a lower time frame, there was some sort of premium array that it wanted to reach to. Small retracement before another push down into that liquidity. Could just be a wick, but I usually like to wait to see it kind of close below it. Well, maybe it was the wick. Maybe that wick here was the run on liquidity. And so now we're back to looking at fair value gaps as the next draw on liquidity. So is it going to go straight there? Oh, we've also got this one here. Once it gets to a level, we sort of want to, it's reached here now, so we kind of want to sort of wait to see what's going to happen. But yeah, I'm sort of anticipating we're going to kind of go into this level here after taking this liquidity. And looks like I was completely wrong. Looks like price is coming back down here to make another. It's sort of setting up equal lows here. Okay, so you kind of get the idea. This is not the easiest thing to do. And then when I'm saying, oh, I think the bias is going to be bullish or bearish, it doesn't mean just from the get-go I'm just going to say, oh, it's going to, you know, it's just going to go up. I'm still anticipating that we're gonna have that sort of that structure where we get like some sort of Judas swing that takes out a low before going higher, and then even if it's a bullish bias, we can still look for short positions as well. It's just that we would sort of be expecting that the buy conditions would give us the best chance of success. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna get back to where we were. I think in the next session we'll actually use what we were learning to then. So we got to which candle were we? We were at this candle here, weren't we? And we're predicting that I'm not actually going to click next, otherwise I'm going to see it. But you know, based on what we were doing, we're anticipating price to reach for this liquidity here. So you know, obviously we could be wrong. We were wrong quite a lot, but it was giving us like a narrative context for what was happening. So yeah, okay, I think I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.